Hello, class. Good afternoon, good evening. I would like to give you a few hints about how we go about doing some statistical analysis in the data we have entered or obtained. I'm going to use my previously created spreadsheet that gives you student ID number, GPA student had, and hours of study. This is just a simple example to give you what kind of options are there in Excel to do statistical analysis, which is important because every office in the universe has some sort of a Excel spreadsheet, if not Microsoft, some other ones. Formulas are always available and always there. So here we have, for example, GPA. Now, for us to be able to calculate this average and standard deviation and things like that, we don't need to do anything by hand anymore. We live in 21st century. We should be able to do it by the computer. So in order for us to simply calculate the average, we highlight the area we want to. Actually, we don't need to do anything. I'll just go here and empty what I've done before. So here, if we are under the sequence of data that we want to calculate the average, we just click home banner here, and we go to drop down menu next to auto sum and choose average. It will offer us the formula to use, so we can click on it or hit enter. I like to hit enter, and the average here is 288. I'm just gonna make it bold. Now, if I want to calculate what is the distance between each individual value and the mean and average, I use standard deviation. And standard deviation we calculate simply by, again, I'm going to empty what I did before so we can look at it again. We go to formulas, we go to the red book, more functions, click on it, we use statistical, and we go all the way down to SDDVS. SDDVS for simple sample, SDDVS, not population, it's sample, it's small sample. I pulled 10 students to calculate the GPA. So I will ask me, what do you want to do standard deviation of? I can type in B3 to B12, or I can highlight the area where I can move on here. And then it will give me the standard deviation. When I click OK, it's right where it started. So give me 1 second. All right, so that's how we did the standard deviation. In order to calculate median, we need to go back to the red book, more function, statistical functions, and we go to median. Median splits the data in half, and it's usually used to compare something that is calculated by average is sensitive to extreme values. If to outliers, median is not. So often we use median. Here it says number. We don't want to use the number. We want to use the sequence of numbers here to here. And median is 285. So that's the value that splits data in half. Not necessarily part of the original data, but it's let me silence my phone. Sorry, guys. And that is calculated value as well as average. We didn't put average here. I'm going to put average here so we know what it is. So standard deviation is here, how far of this. This is good if we compare the GPA between two classes and see where two professors. So we see which one is closer to the average, which is not too many variant rates. And mode is going to give us the most frequent value of the data that we have. So we go back to more functions, statistical. And we look at the mode. mode, single mode, because I think I know there is a single mode. And again, it's going to ask me, what is it you want me to give the mode of? I'm going to give the same thing, B3 to B12, and modes happen to be 2.7. And that is true because the 2.7 happens 3 times out of 10. So we're going to make this bold again. So we can make everything bold for that matter. So we know these are the data we have, the values we have calculated. Now, in terms of creating this graphical presentation, the simplest possible graphical presentation is this. You highlight what you want to show, you click Insert button, and you choose which graph you want, which chart you want. I'm not going to go any complicated, and this is the chart, the simplest possible chart. In case that we want to think about the relationship, or how is it possible to make a relationship between the number of hours I studied and the GPA, how much I studied during the week, in average, as there's a correlation between hours of study and GPA, we can do it 2 different ways. One is to see how strong is the correlation. The other one is going to show us the format of the line, the way the line lines up between the hours of study and GPA. So here we go. We go back to the formulas, more functions, statistical, and we do coefficient of correlation. It's going to ask us, what is it you want to correlate? I want to correlate number of hours as the first variable, and GPA as a second variable, and it happened to be a pretty strong coefficient of correlation. Where did I put it? I don't know, so I'll cancel this. I'll put here, I say Corel. And sometimes if you don't put it in the empty cell, it may mess up your data, so be careful about that. More functions, we go to statistical, Corel. Again, we're going to say this is the first one, and this is the second one. And this is strong correlation, so I click OK, and this is a correlation. I click Home, I make it bold. Alright, I can also make it look nicer if I click right-hand side, Format Cells, Number, and I go with 2 decimals. This is the coefficient of correlation. Now, in terms of graphically presenting or figuring out the form of correlation, we can go to data. If this data analysis doesn't show, I can show you what you need to do. You need to go to File, Options, go to Add-ins, Excel add-ins, you click Go, and you check off what you want to use, the add-ins, the functions that you need, and you click OK, and it's going to put it right here. The data analysis will show up. And here I'm going to go to Data Analysis, go to Regression. Regression will be asked me also, what is the data that you want to regress? I want X to be like X value, independent variable. What do we change? Number of hours. What do we reflect on GPA? GPA we put in the Y range, we input in the X range. So this is independent or variable. This is dependent variable. And I want to show line fit plot. I click OK, and a big mess happens. Now, all we need to do in order for us to construct the line, we need to intercept how far from the originated point of the coordinate system it is 1.7 the units from 0 up y-axis. That's where line crosses the y-axis. And this is the slope. This is the inclination of the line. You can see it here on the graphical presentation of this. And we have here the dotted dot. Square dots is representing predicted line. blue dots representing the white, original white line. There are some hiccups, some not completely straight. If it was straight, it will be much the steeper line, but this is 0.3 steep line, which is 0.3 units of increase of y for every unit, 1 unit of increase of x. So x goes 1, y goes up with 0.3. And this is for this first video. Thank you. To be continued.